Caponord review, video 2. 1, 2, 3. Alright, who crashes into their own bike? Carlyle from Carlyle's Picks. That's who. But you didn't come here for antics. You wanted to see a riding review of this bike. We talked about in the last video. We're inbound to Eurosports.net. We're going to be going on a long distance trip, 1,300 miles plus, on the 2015 Aprilia Caponord. So we want to do service first. So Eurosports.net is going to take care of us with that. And then we're going to hit the road for places unknown. We're going to go Carlyle, Pennsylvania. We're going to go Cleveland, Ohio. We're going to go to Somerset, Pennsylvania, New York City, all on this bike. But let's go ahead and get started. So just a quick glance at some of the gear that I'm wearing. I got for the trip, because long distance trip, I don't know if it's gonna rain, it's not gonna rain, so I got myself REVVING. These guys shipped this out real fast because this was a last minute trip, man. I didn't have much time to plan, so I had these shipped out from REVVING, got it on time. Amazing. So these are waterproof gloves for, you know, summer type weather, whatever. Good protection on these gloves. And also I got, I don't know if you can see my boots. Check out my boots. Can you see these? I got REVVING also. I got the waterproof boots. I'll talk more about these in other videos. But let's get going. Let's get going. I know you guys want to see. You don't want to hear me talking. You want to see the bike. You want to go and let me talk about the bike and the technology and the features and everything. All right. So this bike is a touring bike, so it's a little heavy, just a tad heavy, as you would expect from a touring bike. But because of it being a touring bike, as opposed to the Agusta being more of a sport bike, hyper sport, it's a higher center of gravity. So like getting on the bike and getting it upright, depending on where you are, if you're kind of on a slope where things are kind of slanted, it can be a little bit difficult. I've had some times where it's a little difficult getting on the bike. Not getting on the bike, but pushing it up. And then also it's very tall. So if you're not a tall person, you might have some trouble getting on the bike. I'm 6 feet tall. I can flat foot this bike, no problem. But putting your leg over it is, I wouldn't say challenging, but it's certainly more effort required than the typical, you know, for me. Like I'm on a Hayabusa, I'm on a Daytona 675R. I don't have that kind of problem, but I have it here. All right, so let's go ahead and start the bike up. We got a kickstand up and start it up. Oh yeah! Listen to that. Listen to her purr. Love it. All right, so let's just go around the parking lot a little bit here. We got no cars to worry about. All right, first gear. First of all, first comment, transmission very smooth. I have not had any problems shifting gears. I don't think I missed one gear. So transmission, thumbs up. Nicely played, Aprilia. What else? So transmission. What about the seat? The seat is comfortable, but it does feel a little square to me. So there's a little bit of pressure on the inner thighs. Not now. This is more so after being on it for a while. So we'll see how this plays out for our long distance trip. What about the brakes? Let's see about the brakes. We got ABS, and we're in rain mode, by the way. Let's get some acceleration. Let's try one finger braking up to 23 miles per hour. One finger. Okay, very, very weak brakes with one finger. Now keep in mind, it's a touring bike. Now for those of you like myself who come from a sport bike realm, you are going to be used to much more aggressive bikes. Now touring bikes, cruisers and all these kind of bikes don't have nearly as aggressive brakes as you might be accustomed to. So automatically expect more fingers. Two finger braking. Let's go. 21 miles per hour, 26, and all right, and that gets the job done. Let's get some more distance here, and we'll be out on the road as well later on to test this a little bit more thoroughly, because I don't have that much distance here before I need to stop. So let's go. Let's get it up. All right. 26 miles per hour, 27, and all right. Yeah, that's pretty decent. I mean, you gotta put some muscle into it. Unlike with a super sport bike, you know, it's like you're just telling it what to do and the bike does all the work. Here, I'm doing the work, and not so much, but I am doing the work here. All right, we just triggered our anti-lock brakes. You could feel a little vibration there in the front forks. A little bit too aggressive on the brakes. All right, let's try 3 fingers. Okay, I don't know if the front wanted to come up. I don't know if it did or not. Okay, yeah, we definitely triggered the ABS there. So ABS was pretty smooth. I mean, you could feel the kind of, I want to call it knocks. That's the best way I could describe it. Like someone's knocking the fork. You could feel like tap, 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 tap. You know. Let's try it again. Yeah, so just a little bit of vibration in there, but I mean, it wasn't like, you know, it was pretty. I'll just put it this way: I'm not concerned about the ABS action at all. I'm happy that it's there. In case I'm not paying attention and make a mistake, I don't realize how much traction I have. It's there to save my butt, and when it does its thing, it's not going to actually create its own problem, which, you know, if it's too abrupt or anything like that, and freak me out. So that's pretty cool. Now let's get on the road. We want to try the different well, before we do that, let's do maneuverability. So how maneuverable is this bike, this touring bike that wants to be a sport bike? So let's go and let's. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's she likes to turn, that's for sure. This will feel nice on a twisty road. Oh yeah, I don't even have to really counter steer that much. So this bike is set up to be a fun bike for some nice twisty country roads. Let's see the acceleration in rain mode, just out of curiosity. So rain mode acceleration, here we go.
I hope you're enjoying this episode and you'll stick around for more, because we'll be right back in 30 seconds.
Oh. Let's ease right in here. That was pretty good. So I got on this highway with confidence. The way that this thing was moving, even in rain mode, it wasn't aggressive. I think the rain mode toned it down to where it wasn't aggressive. But she moved, man. I mean, these cars are going at, looks like just around 46 to 50 miles per hour. And I just jumped right in from a stop and wasn't nervous at all, no problem. I came right up to speed and got right in, so that's awesome. All right, so now let's go ahead and check out the acceleration. So we're 4,000 RPMs, full twist on the throttle. Okay, I almost didn't feel any kind of jerk at all. It's like I told you before, the V-twin engine is a jerky engine, potentially. Nothing about this bike, but just how the V-twin engine is. But it only becomes a concern if you're not paying attention and you kind of do what I just did at the wrong time. Wrong RPMs, wrong speed. But on the highway, 46 miles per hour, twisting it like that, no big deal. It's all good. It's all good. Now, let's go through the gears. Second gear, 47 miles per hour, 5,000 RPMs. First gear, we're doing about 6,000 RPMs, 40 miles per hour. 6,000 RPMs, 40 miles per hour. So obviously we have a lot more power now because we're in a higher RPM than we were before. So if I accelerate, it's going to be a little bit of a different story. Let's tell that story. Here we go. 42, 6,000, first gear, rain mode, full acceleration. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, she's ready to go. But nothing scary, nothing violent, just quick. It's a very fast bike, but it's not violent. That's the thing. That's the key thing. And actually, for me as a sports bike person, so if you're a sports bike rider and you're looking at this, oh, it's kind of a sporty touring bike, you're not going to get that violent acceleration that you may be used to with a sport bike. Like a Hayabusa will scare the living crap out of you. Even a rider, experienced rider like myself, you know, the Hayabusa's like you know, better respect me, bro. When you get into the RPMs, you better respect that bike. This bike, yeah, it demands respect, but not like that, man. I mean, you gotta really be being an idiot. You know, the Hayabusa, you don't have to be being an idiot. All you gotta be is in the wrong gear, in the wrong RPMs, and it doesn't take much for that bike to really, let's just say make you have to change some article of your clothing after that incident. So yeah, you know, a little bit more aggressive than a bike like this. All right, so all this stuff we're doing is in rain mode. So what happens if we go to sport mode? So let's go ahead and change to sport mode. So we're gonna go ahead and click on the starter button. Click on the starter button, and apparently I had too much RPMs. I think you have to kind of be coasting at least, or something like that. I didn't read the manual. You should read the manual when you get the bike. Okay, there you go. Flashing on the left. Now I'm changing it. Click again to touring. Click again to sport. Now we're in sport mode. All right. Second gear, 30 miles per hour. First gear, 37 miles per hour, 5,000 RPMs, and the front end is going up and down. Every time I jerk the throttle, it's like the front end is like, whoa, whoa. Yeah, she's ready to go. Yeah. All right, so we got a light. That's good. That just saved our butts because we're about to take off. And that would not be good. So thank goodness for the stoplight that saved us from doing anything too crazy. Let's actually, rather than sit here, I believe you can turn right on red around here. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a right turn. And maybe this road, 25 miles per hour, come on. Maybe this road we can find some place to have some fun here. All right, so let's give you general feedback. I don't want to make this video too long, so let's focus on what we're talking about now. Just general feedback. How does it feel to ride this bike? So we're doing 26 miles per hour. We're doing 31 miles per hour now, second gear. So this seems to be the appropriate gear for this kind of road. Second gear, 35 miles per hour, good to go. Downshift to first. So the suspension is a little divey. Not too much that I'm concerned. It just reminds me that this is a touring bike after all. Transmission super smooth, just flicking through those gears. So second gear is your local town, your 35 mile per hour zone. That's your gear for that situation. So 4,000 RPMs. Second gear, 35 miles per hour. We're in sport mode. Let's twist the throttle and see what we get. Oh yeah, so she moves with authority, but it's not as violent like, oh, you know, I'm gonna crash or I'm gonna lose traction. I have no concerns at all twisting the throttle. And that was a sloppy, by the way, I did that intentionally sloppily. Like I just twisted it like super fast. I didn't care about being progressive or anything like that because I'm testing it out for you guys to let you guys know the characteristics of this bike and the throttle response and the power delivery and all that good stuff. So keep that in mind. This is not how you would normally be accelerating, but if you do decide to call full power from 4,000 RPMs, second gear 38, your response is going to be with authority, with considerable authority, but you're not going to be afraid. You're not going to be concerned about crashing or that's too much or whatever. You're just going to be going. It's Mercedes-Benz acceleration. That's what it is, kind of. Mercedes-Benz with a little bit smoother than that, but Mercedes-Benz, you know, most of their cars, the acceleration you know mostly from the speedometer, not from your butt dyno or whatever it's called, right? All right, so let's do some higher RPM accelerations to see what happens. We're still in sport mode. Down to first gear, we lift the throttle, so now it's jerky. So this is what I was talking about, that V-twin. I didn't mean to jerk it like that. Just my inconsistent hand position on the throttle. See there? I didn't mean to do that. So it's very, very twitchy, I guess is the word I want to use, when you are in first gear, 5,000 RPMs, 35 miles per hour. Very, very twitchy, very twitchy. So you don't want to be slow. That's the thing. You don't want, at this speed, I don't want to be this slow like this. I want to be moving along like this. See, you want to be cruising. And then you want to change gears, of course, and go higher and higher. But let's see what happens now. So we're, let's see, 6,000 RPMs, sport mode, 44 miles per hour. 6,000 RPM, sport mode, 45 miles per hour. And we're going to give the throttle a good whack and see what happens. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I think she's ready to go. So I would say not quite violent, but it did get to the point where I was a little bit concerned about the front end might come up. So yeah, I told you, man, she's got some power. You got to be in the right RPM, the right setup, and she moves. So beware. You're in sport mode, be careful. And we should do a comparison. Let's do it. Let's go into rain mode. Same thing in rain mode. So rain mode is engaged right now. So in rain mode, not as twitchy. I'm jerking the throttle a little bit. And it's jerky, but it's I can live with that. I'm not too worried about it. It's much more, most of the time when I jerk the throttle like this, I'm just getting these tugs, like a very strong wind. As opposed to before, where it's like my whole body's being thrown around and it's crazy. So this is absolutely considerable difference between the sport mode and the rain mode as far as sudden acceleration. So let's whack the throttle from 6. And here we go. Okay, so it was moving with authority, but that initial insanity seems to be very toned down by the rain mode, and that's what you wanted to do. Now keep in mind, we're also using traction control as well. So if we give a little bit too much power, the traction control should retard the power to avoid slippage. So that's always nice when you have traction control and you have the throttle mapping where you can change those settings. I see a nice road over there for us to play around with. This is kind of a main road. I don't want to play around too much on this road. So let's go on that road over there and give you some more information about this bike. Actually, on that note, we are inbound for Eurosports.net. We're going to be doing a really long distance ride on this bike, 1,300 to 1,600 miles. And as I said in the other video, I always recommend you go to service first. And they do service Aprilia bikes. So we're going to go there and check out the bike. Make sure it's seaworthy for the voyage. So that's one of the concerns that someone mentioned to me. They said, you know, where do you service Aprilia bikes? Well, there's one place there for you. Coopersburg, Pennsylvania, Eurosports.net. And we're gonna go there and show you around and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be as many places as you know, some of the other manufacturers. All right, so power test on the 2015 Aprilia. Actually, I'll do another video separate just about the power. So I'm gonna end this video. Subscribe to be notified when I do the other video, which is gonna be focusing on the power of this bike. Different speeds, different RPMs, different modes. How does it feel? How does it feel? Is that a song? Dun-dun. I don't know, whatever. You're watching Carlyle's Picks, and this is a bike review of the 2015 Aprilia Caponord. Bike from the future. The touring bike that wants to be a sports bike, but it's definitely a touring bike. So stay tuned. Thumbs up the video if you appreciate the video. Share it with your friends. And until next time, this is Carlyle from Carlyle's Picks. You got 4-piston brakes. They're Brembo brakes. Awesome for long distance riding. Also awesome for...
This motorcycle features a Super Quattro L twin-cylinder engine. If you made it this far, that means you must have enjoyed this video. I've got over 700 videos. I do about 2 to 3 videos per week or more. You're gonna wanna go ahead and click on the subscribe button so you can get notified when I upload new videos. I am one of the few people on YouTube that realizes that I work for you guys. So I listen to my subscribers, I respond to my subscribers. It means a lot to me, but for you, it's just a matter of one click.